What if I told you that thousands of years ago, a philosopher in China was teaching ideas that sound eerily similar to what we now call Stoicism? Zhuangzi, the ancient Daoist thinker, focused on one key idea: living in harmony with the flow of life. But is there a deeper connection between his philosophy and the Stoicism we associate with figures like Seneca or Marcus Aurelius? Let's dive in and explore Zhuangzi's path to inner peace, spontaneity, and embracing the randomness of life, and see how it compares to the Stoic pursuit of virtue and tranquility. Let's start with Stoicism. Stoic philosophy, especially as taught by thinkers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, is all about mastering our inner world. It teaches us that we cannot control external events, but we can control how we react to them. The Stoics believe that by focusing on our responses to life's challenges, we could achieve peace and tranquility, regardless of the chaos around us. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." For the Stoics, suffering often comes from our attachments to things outside of our control. The goal isn't to eliminate all pain or hardship, but to respond to them with wisdom and resilience. This inner calm is the Stoic ideal, a state of mind that's unaffected by the changing tides of fortune. Now let's look at Zhuangzi. Zhuangzi's work is filled with stories, paradoxes, and humor that challenge conventional thinking. He's not interested in controlling life, but in embracing its spontaneity and unpredictability. The Daoist principle of Wu Wei, non-action or effortless action, captures this mindset perfectly. Zhuangzi believed that true peace comes when we align ourselves with the natural flow of the world. Zhuangzi's philosophy is grounded in the belief that the universe operates through a set of natural laws, or the Tao, and that humans can live harmoniously with this flow if they stop resisting it. Unlike Stoicism, which is more concerned with rational self-discipline and control, Zhuangzi teaches us to let go of the need to control everything and simply follow the rhythm of life. Zhuangzi once said, "The Tao flows through all things, and those who follow it are in harmony with nature." The one who knows the Tao is not averse to anything. This quote reflects the Daoist belief in accepting whatever comes our way, whether good or bad, without clinging to it. For Zhuangzi, life is constantly changing, and attempting to force things to remain static or according to our desires only causes suffering. At first glance, Stoicism and Taoism might seem quite different. One is rational and logical, the other more poetic and mystical. But they share a common thread. Both philosophies teach us to surrender to the natural flow of life. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic Roman emperor, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This aligns with Zhuangzi's teachings about accepting what life brings without resistance. In both traditions, the key to peace is understanding that there are forces outside our control, whether they be fate, nature, or the will of the universe. The Stoics believe that our reactions are what we can control, and Zhuangzi encourages us to align with the natural flow instead of resisting it. While Stoicism emphasizes control over our emotions and rational responses, Taoism, as taught by Zhuangzi, suggests that sometimes letting go and following the current is the best way to achieve peace. Zhuangzi's use of paradox is one of his most distinctive qualities. He often uses stories that challenge our conventional understanding of life. One such story involves a man grieving the death of his wife. Zhuangzi suggests that he should not mourn because death is a natural part of life. Just as we don't mourn the changing seasons, we should not mourn death. This teaching is about accepting the inevitable with grace, without letting attachment to our desires or expectations cause unnecessary suffering. Zhuangzi said, "Happiness is the absence of the striving for happiness. The mind that is in harmony with the Tao is not disturbed by the circumstances of life." This is a profound statement. It suggests that we find true happiness not by striving for it, but by releasing the constant push for things to be a certain way. The Stoics similarly believe that happiness comes from within, not from external circumstances. Both Stoicism and Taoism teach the importance of non-attachment. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus famously said, Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. In a similar vein, Zhuangzi teaches that when we let go of our attachments to things, whether it's wealth, success, or even relationships, we free ourselves to live in peace with whatever happens. In modern life, we often find ourselves caught up in the pursuit of external goals, career success, social approval, material possessions, believing that happiness will come once we reach them. But both Zhuangzi and the Stoics argue that this way of thinking leads to endless frustration. True contentment comes from within, from understanding that we can't control everything and learning to flow with the changes of life. Zhuangzi's teachings are full of paradoxes, but they ultimately lead to the same wisdom. Live in harmony with nature, and you will find peace. The Stoics, too, believe that peace comes from mastering our inner world. In the end, both philosophies teach us that we are not the masters of fate, but we are the masters of how we respond to it. So, while Stoicism teaches us to control our emotions and reactions, Zhuangzi's Taoism teaches us to let go and trust the flow of life. Both paths ultimately lead to the same destination, a life of inner peace and tranquility. In a world filled with stress and uncertainty, we can learn something from both philosophies. The Stoic path teaches us endurance and resilience, while the Daoist path shows us the beauty of surrender and acceptance. Maybe we need a little bit of both to navigate the challenges of modern life. What do you think? Is the Chinese version of Stoicism the answer to modern-day stress? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into philosophy and timeless wisdom.